My name is Zachary, and I am thrilled to be here celebrating Hanukkah with all of you here at the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays. I've just come home to Orlando after a few years of studying abroad and meeting people from all over the world. In my travels, I've learned that people in different places and cultures celebrate Hanukkah in their own way. And now I get to share what I've learned with all of you. You know, a lot of people think that Hanukkah is just this very serious and somber holy holiday. But that's not completely true. In fact, Hanukkah is the only Jewish holiday not specifically mentioned in the Torah, our holy book. Hanukkah is a joyful holiday celebrating a victory and a miracle. It all began in 166 BCE when a small band of Jews known as the Maccabees defeated the large and powerful Assyrian army, driving them from Jerusalem and reclaiming their holy temple. After the battle, the Maccabees rededicated the temple and relit the eternal candle, a candle that is required to burn in synagogues at all times. The only problem was they only had enough oil to light the candle for one day. Yet by a miracle, the candle burned bright for 8 days, long enough for a messenger to return with more oil. This is why we now celebrate 8 days of Hanukkah. Now, during the 8 days and nights of Hanukkah, families gather together, much like we are now. We eat, we sing songs, we eat, we exchange presents, and did I mention that we eat? Specifically, we eat potato latkes and jelly donuts, foods that are cooked in oil to help us remember the miracle of the oil that burned for the Maccabees so long ago. We also have a few other traditions, such as lighting the Hanukkah, a 9-branched menorah like the one you can see behind me now. I'm sure a few of you are probably wondering, why 9 candles? Well, that's because at sunset on the first night, we actually light 2 candles. The center candle, which is called the shamash, and the candle furthest to the right. The shamash is the servant candle. It serves as a reminder for each of us to be a light, shining into a dark world. At sunset on the second night of Hanukkah, we light the shamash and the next 2 candles, and so on and so forth until the 8th night, when all of the candles are lit and burning bright. Light the first of 8 tonight, furthest candle to the right. Light the first and second too, when tomorrow's day is through. Then light 3 and then light 4. Every dusk light 1 candle more, till all 8 burn bright and high, honoring a day gone by. Now, in my family, like so many other families around the world, our tradition was to exchange gifts immediately after lighting the candles. My parents would always give us kids the biggest presents on the first and the last nights. The nights in between were for, I guess you could say, smaller presents. School supplies, clothes, an extra fancy pair of socks. I'd always have to hide my disappointment on the sock nights. But we would also get some of the Hanukkah staples, chocolate coins called gelt. Oh, and of course, dreidels. Now, a dreidel, for those of you who don't know, is a 4-sided spinning top. On each side is a Hebrew letter: Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Shin. My brothers and sisters and I would each put some of our Hanukkah gelt into a pot, and then, one at a time, we'd spin the dreidel. Now, if the dreidel lands on Nun, you'd get none. If it lands on Shin, it's actually even worse. You have to add another of your chocolate coins to the pot. But if it lands on Hay, you get half the chocolate in the pot. And if you're lucky enough for it to land on Gimel, you get all the chocolate in the world! I'm just kidding. You don't get all the chocolate in the world. That'd be way too much chocolate. You get all the chocolate in the pot, which is still way too much chocolate. While we would play, we would sing the classic dreidel song. I'm sure a few of you know the classic dreidel song, am I right? Yeah? Well, I would love to sing some of it for you, but I think I'm gonna need some help. Is there anybody here who can help me sing the classic dreidel song? Anybody? That's totally okay if you don't know the words. You could still help me out. That's all right. But in that case, I'm still going to ask everybody to help me out, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to sing most of the words of the dreidel song. And then when it's time for all of you to say the word Dreidel, good guess. I'm gonna lift this dreidel I've got up in my hands into the air, and that's gonna be your cue. Can we try that real quick? Dreidel. There we go, one more time. Dreidel. All right, you all ready to sing? Yep. Fantastic. I have a little dreidel. I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel. I will play. Oh, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel. I will play. Everybody give yourselves a hand. Thank you so much. Now, I have to admit, we didn't sing the classic dreidel song quite like that when I was a kid. But I have always loved my family's Hanukkah traditions so much. That's why I was thrilled to be able to get out into the world and see how people in different places and cultures celebrate Hanukkah. Did you know that in Yemen and North Africa, they make the seventh night of Hanukkah a celebration of women? It's called Hag Habanat, the holiday of the daughters, in honor of all of the strong women connected to the Jews' battle for freedom. On this night, the synagogue is open just for women to worship the Torah, dance, and bless their daughters and fellow Jewish women. Oh, and in Turkey, on the last night of Hanukkah, they have a holiday they call Merenda. It literally translates to snack. The night is basically a giant potluck. Families travel to each other's homes, sharing home-prepared dishes and foods. I told you, we like to eat. On this day, children collect flour from their neighbors, chanting and singing, "Give us flour, so that God will give you life." Oh, and speaking of music and songs, in Argentina, many Jews actually speak in a Judeo-Spanish language called Ladino. And there's an old Ladino song sung by Argentinians to celebrate Hanukkah called Ocho Candelicas. It literally translates to 8 little candles. You know, I actually know a few bars of this one. Would you folks like me to play some for you? Oh, fantastic. Like I said, this one's one of my favorites. Oh, little candle, 2 little candles, 3 little candles, 4 little candles, 5 little candles, 6 little candles, 7 little candles, 8 candles for me. Isn't that such a fun song? And there are so many wonderful Hanukkah songs and traditions out there in this great big world. Yet it seems that no matter where you are, Hanukkah is about remembering the miracle, remembering to be a light, and celebrating with food, fun, and most importantly, family. Now, before I leave you, I'd like to share one more song with all of you. I'm sure that some of you know this one, but for those of you who don't, it's called O Hanukkah. Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Thank you! Chag Sameach! Happy Hanukkah, everyone! Please enjoy the rest of your day here at the Epcot International Festival of the Holidays.